Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'm talking to American country rock singer and songwriter, a guy with multiple #1 songs, platinum records, and a big rock star himself, Hardy. Let's go.
That's my kind. I don't want no bad times. I don't want to have bad.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Happy to be here.
Besides the rock, you're the only the second Tequila Toast I've had on this show.
Would I know the other one?
It's pretty good.
It is good.
Just the Rock, who gave me the tequila.
Oh, The Rock.
The Rock.
Sorry, I thought you meant, I don't know what I was thinking. That's cool.
So The Rock gave me those, like a case.
And that's his.
Of tequila, and he's absolutely, because I like his tequila. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's like very smooth.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Repo's got a little.
Think about this. This is why I love him. He makes good tequila affordable. Anybody can buy a bottle of it, and it drinks just like an expensive bottle of tequila.
Boom.
Which I love.
Is he paying you? Is he paying you?
No, he's not. Not at all. I am so obsessed with value. I don't even care about cheap, but like a good price where I feel like I'm getting the real cost of the goods versus like someone who's just built a label up and is selling it at a high price because they can.
Yeah.
Versus what it's actually worth.
Yeah, totally.
I hate when you feel like you're paying for the name versus like.
I'm trying to think of something that is like shitty but expensive.
Could name a few things. Think about this. Not that the prices are so far apart now, but a pair of Oakleys versus a pair of Ray-Bans.
Ray-Bans are more expensive, right?
You're paying more for Ray-Bans, but like to me, Oakleys last longer.
Yeah.
And I used to wear Ray-Bans all the time. And then my wife would always take my Ray-Bans and lose them. And so every time she took my Ray-Bans, I knew it was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a
They're
matter
never
of
coming
a
back.
week, 5 days, 3 days, however long it's going to be gone. So I started buying Oakleys.
She wouldn't wear them?
She wouldn't reach for them. For some reason, I don't know if they feel like feminine or whatever.
Yeah.
So then she stopped taking my glasses and they last longer. And then I started realizing like, oh, these are actually better glasses anyways. You can beat them up.
I used to have Oakleys, but I have a deal with a glasses or a sunglasses company called Blue Otter. And
I love Blue Otter.
Yeah.
That's Luke's.
Yeah. These are Blue Otter. Yeah. There's a guy named Bradley Jordan started it, but all of my glasses are prescription. So I'm not technically contractually obligated. I'm gonna keep looking at my manager because I don't know what I'm supposed to say about
We
Blue
can
Otter.
edit it out.
But
We
anyway,
can check and edit it out.
he sends me like once every few months a new pair, but they're
Those are great
prescription.
glasses.
I love them, dude. They're really great. I mean,
Yeah.
I've worn them for years and I haven't really worn anything else, and they're good and they hold up. I mean, bro, the wear and tear that I put on my Blue Otter shit, and they only break like once every year and a half or so, and it's because they're getting thrown around and all that kind of stuff.
You go pretty hard on them.
Yeah.
Value. That's what I like. I like value. At this age, maybe when I was younger and I hadn't been able to afford things, and I thought when I first got able to buy something, nice or whatever, I just thought the name, I was a little more caught up in like, oh, I own this like whatever expensive thing.
Right.
And then as I got older, I realized like it's kind of bullshit. Some of it's nice.
Right.
You pay for with some things.
Do you remember the first like instrument or anything you bought that was like name brand but was also like had, value to or was just well made? Like do you ever I got
like
a Martin
really
guitar
nice
when
guitar.
I was like 16. Yeah.
So my brother plays guitar. He definitely bought guitars and has a very big, nice guitar collection. But I would also say he uses them.
Yeah.
So
well, you got to. I think.
Yeah.
I am the opposite of the person that it's like people say like you're fine china or whatever it is. Like you might as well eat on it. I just think like, bro, a meteor could hit us in this room right now, and all the fancy shit we had that we never used is just going to go to some other person.
Yeah. What do you want to build? A museum?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. And then would it even be as good as a real museum?
Nah.
No.
Nobody
might
would
as
come.
well.
Nobody come to my museum, dude.
I'd say, let me think of the first thing I bought that I'd say was valuable. Probably old cars.
What was the first one?
A 65 Impala Super Sport convertible, 4 on the floor.
Sick
car. I actually didn't pay a crazy amount for it back then. I mean, it was a lot for me, but now when I think about it, it's probably worth 5 times what I paid for it. I bought it for less.
Still got it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm never selling it.
That's very cool.
But yeah, I bought it for like 15 grand from a guy at the time. For me, that was just like 2001. Mm-hmm. And it was like perfect condition, one owner car, beautiful car.
Man, it's crazy. 23 years ago.
I mean, that thing's probably, and I've done, I've modified it and restored it over the years to continually just be better.
Yeah.
Chrome things out, things like that. It's probably, I mean, that's a car that you could probably sell for well over 100 grand now, but one of those like beautiful cars.
Yeah, but it's like, why would you get?
But I would never sell it.
Yeah.
You got it for free, in my opinion. 15 grand. Like
I have a truck. My first truck I ever bought, my first like royalty check, I still have, and like I will drive it until the wheels fall
you
off.
should.
It's already gone through one transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will never get rid of it ever.
No, I don't really play a lot of guitar, so I have some nice guitars, but mostly my brother gives them to me.
Yeah.
As like, so I have nice acoustic guitars, nice electric guitars, but I'm not a guitar connoisseur like he is. Like he could tell you all about them.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't really know a whole lot about them.
I have a nice, like somewhat vintage, baby grand piano that I really like. That's like
cool.
a white, beautiful white piano.
Yeah.
Probably instruments wise, that's probably the nicest instrument I have is a couple of nice guitars and that piano.
That's cool.
I'm trying to think of what else I would say is probably art too, like paintings.
See, I have none of that. I would love to dig into that more, but that's a world that I don't know anything about.
It's just like music. It's like finding a new artist you love that not a lot of people know about.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Funny.
And
It's
become a fan.
That's cool.
So a couple artists over the years that I've bought paintings from, but I'm not like an art guy. So like there's an art world I feel like is kind of exclusive.
I would imagine that it would be like that.
Yeah, at the high end when you go to some of these things, and I kind of laugh because I feel like it's the same as music. It's like music is important, art is important, but the people who kind of control it, that own it, like the people who collect it, and they're almost the ones making the most money off of it. Mm-hmm. They create, it's kind of like fashion too, like high fashion. You can walk in a room and be like, whoa, I just do not feel like cool enough to be in here.
Yeah.
And you forget where all the ideas come from are from these misfits.
Yeah.
That didn't fit in, that didn't want to be in a room like that. They want to be in a room where.
Oh, that's funny. The paradox.
Yeah.
That's
paradox.
crazy. That's cool. I never thought about it like that.
I don't know. It's weird how it gets like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really funny. It's like you make it as a musician, you get into these crazy rooms and you're like, I don't like any of these people.
Yeah. Or you start thinking you need to act different. I went through this too when I was younger. I kind of struggled with this idea of like, who am I? In some moments when I was younger, you do something out of like wanting attention, validation, people to like you, to do something that you feel is important or you feel like so I think it's like a self-esteem thing for me. And then you do it, you get on the other side of it, and suddenly you're questioning, like you get in a room with all these important people that have had like, these record execs and these big managers and these big artists and all these people that you don't feel as good as, right? Because maybe you feel like yours is a fluke, or maybe it was an accident that you got here. Yeah. And then you get in the room and you start questioning like how you're supposed to act. What are you supposed to wear? What are you supposed to know about? What are you supposed to be? You know what I mean? And I think that like, especially at a young age, I was in my early 20s, you can get lost in the sauce a little bit. I think I went through that a little bit just because my self-esteem wasn't caught up to the success that we were having with the music.
Yeah, it's almost like, what is it called?
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, imposter syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah. We probably all go through some version of that.
I've definitely dealt with that 100%. Yeah. I feel like I'm over the last like 2 years, I got it like very quickly after I started, like after I got a little bit of fame, whatever you want to call it,
It's fame.
And I was like,
just so you know, you're famous. It's hard to say about yourself.
It's weird to say it sometimes.
But you have to.
Yeah.
You have to acknowledge the truth so that you don't go around it.
Like deny it, repress it, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's not like you're saying it in a way as it's a definition of you. You're saying it as a thing you actually have to acknowledge the truth about so that you can continue on instead of trying to like, oh, I'm not really, I always tell a lot of my friends who are artists, I meet early and then they have success and then they become these famous artists. And I'm like, yo, just acknowledge the fame thing. It doesn't mean you have to like it. Yeah. It doesn't mean you have to value it.
But you have to know it's there.
You have to know it's there. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you won't make decisions or you won't actually grow in your own real life. So then you get married, you have kids. If you try to pretend like you aren't who you are and you're married and you have kids, there's this separation where you're like a different person at home, different person in the world. You got to have a little bit of that. But if you're hiding, it's just a weird thing if you don't have a relationship with the reality you're in, which is for you. Maybe you were a little artist back there years ago, but now you're not. So you have to behave differently.
Yeah.
And you also have influence on people. So when you're meeting somebody, if you don't know who you are when you meet them and how much it matters to them to meet you, you're not going to actually behave the right way. No,
that's true. That's something to be like, I think about that all the time about how, like little moments like that. I walk away from those a lot and you're like, it almost seems like full of yourself or cocky, but it's not. You to be like, man, I just think I probably made that person's like year by doing this, you know what I mean? Or talking to him for 1 minute or whatever. And
actually feeling the love though for yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's actually what matters.
Part. Yeah.
It's actually what matters is the influence. It's the kid who has the guitar in his garage or his bedroom that wonders, should I do this? Is it even worth it? Everyone's telling me it's not. They're all telling me how hard it is. They don't even understand what I want to do.
Yeah.
So you remember the early days of starting out where you're like walking around and you're talking about what you're doing. Like, one day I'm writing songs or I'm doing this. And everyone's like, good luck. Yeah, kid.
Yeah.
Hope you make it, kid.
Had some of that for sure.
You're working some job to get to pay the bills and you're writing and you're doing the things. And then people don't believe in you. You can see it. You tell them your dream and it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
You can just feel it.
Yeah.
But then you meet you. So that's the moment where you never know who you're meeting. Like they're at the beginning of their journey and you're somewhere in the middle of yours.
Yeah.
You're definitely not at the beginning of yours. And they needed to hear whatever it is, even if it was a high, if it was just like you took the time to recognize that like, they're up and coming and they're trying. We don't know who's going to make what and what's going to happen, but we know what it feels like to be like not seen by anyone when we're trying to like start out. And I think that's why it's worth always remembering what that was like and actually recognizing where we are now. That actually matters.
Yeah, totally. No, I agree 100%.
Yeah. We've come a long way.
Yeah.
It's funny.
We're in the weeds, dude.
Yeah. Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Yeah, dude. You ever been there?
No, I've been to Mississippi. Wouldn't know which part of Mississippi I'm in when I'm in Mississippi.
There's only two parts. You would either go to basically Tupelo, actually three, like the coast. There's a Coliseum or a arena in Jackson, and there's an arena in Tupelo. That's it.
We've done both of those.
They're all like small arenas though, like like a minor league hockey kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
The biggest thing that I actually wanted to talk to you about today, because I was thinking about it last night, I was like, I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
I don't think we've ever met.
I don't think so.
I
think I might have met your brother one time in Nashville.
Josh,
maybe.
My older brother. Maybe my twin brother.
Benji.
I
met one of them.
One of them. We all look the same, to be honest.
I can't remember.
We look like triplets. I think you actually are in this like cool place for rock music, but also kind of like you're a rock and roll guy to me, but like you do country really well. And it's like one of the few rock country guys around, in my opinion, kind of around.
You're the first guy that's ever said it in that order, which is wild to hear.
I see rock first, but I see like country music. Obviously, you grew up around country music.
Yeah.
And you're a country. I don't know if I would define you as anything but rock and roll. To me is rock and roll. So there's like different parts of, I'm from a different part of the country.
Where are you from?
From Maryland.
Okay.
Grew up with lots of country music. I'm a huge country fan.
I know that Maryland is like mostly like rural. It's just the East Coast that's city, but
it's two cities. You're near DC. You're near Baltimore, kind of. You're a couple hours away. But growing up in the sticks where we grew up, we kind of rejected all the country around us and started like what we thought was a punk band. In our mind at the time we were young, we're 15. We're like, let's be the opposite of this place because it was very hard. And I wouldn't say because of the people there. It was very hard because of our family. And at the time, we pointed it at all the people, like, you don't understand me. But it was really just like, if you don't have a functional family life and your parents can't really get it together and build a functional family unit, you're not going to go into the world equipped to deal with any people, period.
Right.
And so you're going to likely have social and emotional problems everywhere you go because you didn't learn functionality at home.